popped up. I'm out here FedEx and invited me to a little party. Well, look at that. FedEx, yeah, we use FedEx a lot with our shipping. So I'm up in the mountains, they doing an old whiskey tasting. So I might come get me a little sip. Peaceful up here too, man, it's peaceful.
Brigham Young, not only was he the prophet, he was also the governor of Utah. He gave 2 thumbs up for distillation. It was bringing in a ton of revenue for the church. So whiskey, we're using grains, and the 4 most commonly used grains are here on the table. On the far left, we have corn. So this is dent corn. We have yellow, blue, and red dent corn. All of this corn is coming in from Colorado. We're single sourcing from a small farm called Bow and Arrow Farms, just outside of Cortez. Then we have another grain, rye. This rye comes in from Idaho. Malted barley is the next grain, and then the last grain on the far right, that's wheat. So we're going to use these different grains in our mash bill to create different flavors and different styles of whiskey. Whiskey is a huge umbrella term. What we're making here at High West, American straight whiskey is a category, and American single malt whiskey. Because Scotland, Ireland, Canada, they all have whiskey and they all have their own rules and regulations in place. So we're only allowed to use one type of grain in the mash bill. This is malted barley. So we can't use any corn, rye, or wheat in our mash bill. A single malt is 100% malted barley. This is what malted barley looks and smells like. You can pass that around. Smell it. If you want to chew on some of it, you can. The cool thing about barley is you can chew on it.
Like bird seeds.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
So what do they do? Grind it down and then so then they what? They grind it down?
With the barley, what they're going to do is they're going to cut down the barley, then they're going to soak it in water for a few days and lay it out on the malting floor. It's kind of like a big wind before that's perforated, and they're going to allow the barley to get germination. Yeah, so they're trying to kind of like tricking the grain into thinking it's springtime. It just got a lot of water, now it's heating up, it's going to start germination. During germination, the grain naturally releases chemicals known as enzymes that will break down the starches into softer starches that we can eventually convert into simple sugars.
You use the word germination a lot. Yeah. What is germination?
Getting the plant within this little grain here. So inside the grain, there's a little endosperm and an embryo, and we want the sprout to grow. So we want it to start germination, but we don't want that little sprout to eat all of the starch, because starch is your ticket for whiskey during fermentation. You convert those starches into ethanol, so you kill the baby sprout by roasting it. Without yeast, none of this is possible. Yeast consume sugar and metabolize that sugar into ethanol. Yeah, so we get flavor compounds, we get ethanol, we get other fusel alcohols, we also get CO2 and things like that, but eventually what we get is beer. Fun fact, all whiskey starts as beer. It's a fermented mash of grain.
It just goes through that transformation. They got to go through the beer stage to get the whiskey.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yep. That's what our beer looks like, though.
Yeah.
It's a pretty loose definition of beer. It's 10% ABV. It's 10% alcohol by volume. It's very thick, it's very chunky,
That's
very
it.
sour.
That was right.
Yeah, it's very gross.
A little pint.
That's it.
A little pint.
Agnes. She's curvy.
I got all my pigs named. Yeah,
Pigs?
My pigs, my barbecue pigs.
Oh, that's like
they hot just like Agnes.
But this is Agnes. So this was all handmade. You can see the individual sheets of copper. They had to take big old sheets of copper and then eventually put those sheets of copper together. The cost for the copper shipping and labor was about $4 million.
I never really knew how it was made. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So all these barrels are put together piece by piece. They're kind of like puzzles. They're all different sizes. Then they hammer down the rings, they steam and bend them. Eventually, everything is held together with tension. So there's no like glue, nails, or screws holding these barrels together. So charring is burning the inside of the barrel before we fill it. So this is what a 4 out of 5 on the char scale looks like. Liquid can sneak out, but also air can sneak in and oxidize. During the oxidation process, we start to see flavors like vanilla, caramel, molasses, coconut, tannin, spice, mushroom, who knows. Depending on how long you let it sit, you're going to get different flavors and more color.
You want that liquor to taste like some mesquite? Man, all you gotta do is burn that with mesquite, put it together, put your liquor in there, and it's gonna be smoke. Look.
That's so cool.
Oh damn, I didn't see all that.
So has anyone ever done a whiskey like flight before? Like sat down and drank whiskey side by side and kind of compared them as you went? It's a great way to try whiskeys one at a time and see what your palate lands on. So I would recommend starting with the whiskey that's furthest to the left, and lucky you, that's one of my favorites. It's bottled in Bon Rye. So a great place to start is grab that whiskey glass by its stem. You're gonna wanna open the whiskey up just a little bit before diving in. And a great way to open up whiskey is by tilting the glass and rolling the stem of the glass between your fingers. You're gonna coat the entire surface area of the glass, allowing the ethanol to oxidize, which is gonna release some of those aromatic flavors.
Look at the legs, at your wrist. Don't shake it like you do wine. You don't want to do it like that. Just slow rolling. Kind of like you do that smoke on the mocktails. I already tasted. He told me I could taste it when I smell it before I take it. No. But it's good though. It's all good. Yeah, I like that cognac.
12.
And my favorite is the VSOP cognac.
Oh, there you go.
Smooth. Drink plenty of it. Got you a little. I ain't trying to get drunk. I just want a little relax.
Sip on it?
Yeah, just a little sip.
Nice.
Tap that cup. Tap, tap.
That's what I'm talking about.
Do it again though. You gotta roll that cup. Probably one more. Cheers to High West whiskey. I be steady working. I got a video on the way for y'all. I was out there. I got the box shelves loaded up. By the time I get back, they're gonna be taken off. Ben, how long have you been here, bro?
4 years.
4 years? You eat barbecue?
Yeah.
That's the best barbecue in Utah. LES BBQ sandwiches. You gotta come through there. I'll put your ox foot. It's out there in Draper, Utah. That's me right there. Yeah.
What'd you take?
They all gone. I don't know about that. They taste pretty good. This one was a little rough. It was a tequila. Yeah, that one right there was a little. Had a punch to them, but the other ones, they were pretty smooth. So this was pretty interesting, man. My first time in a distillery, actually seeing how it was made. I always like to learn new stuff, meet new people, new networking, new resources. And that's how you build a business. And I'm out.